This is how the weekend went then. On Friday, 2 games. Brentford beating West Ham in the London derby, East against West, by 2-0. Liverpool, 2 own goals helping their cause. You'll see it soon. Liverpool beating Leicester by 2-1. Yesterday, that goal from Rashford giving United all 3 points. Goalless at St James's Park between Newcastle and Leeds. Palace beating Bournemouth on the road. Fulham with another win, this time against bottom club Southampton. 1-1 between City and Everton. As I say, the defending champions dropping those points. And there's that 4-2 win for Arsenal over Brighton. Today, Sunday, Tottenham losing at home. Surprising scoreline, 2-0 to Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest won. Chelsea won. The final score from the City ground. And another really interesting and progressive day for Steve Cooper and Forest. Welcome inside our studio on day 1 of 2023. I'm Rebecca Lowe, Robbie Earle, Robbie Mustoe. The Premier League very much is back. I'm going to start, Robbie Earle, by talking about the league leaders, because when we went away for the World Cup, they had a 5-point cushion. Everybody said, well, when we come back, they've got to make sure they continue this, and 5 points is good. Well, it's now 7 points. They're not just continuing, they seemingly are getting better. Well, it's not just continuing and getting better, Rebecca. They've lost the star striker, Gabriel Jesus, who everybody said, oh, no, this is the end of Arsenal. Not been the case. 2 games since we've come back from with World Cup restart. They've scored 7 goals. The front 3, Saka, Martinelli and Nketiah, have scored in both those games, which is important for Arsenal. Right now, Arsenal have hurdles put in front of them. And every hurdle that's put in front of them, they look like they've got the ability to overcome it. Brighton possibly got into the game at 4-2, could have been 4-3, but I always felt that Arsenal had enough. And it's an Arsenal team that's starting to show maturity that we haven't seen before. We'll share those goals from the Brighton-Arsenal game shortly. But with Arsenal, I mean, back in 2016 when Leicester won the title, nobody ever thought they were going to do it up until they actually did it. This is different. But at what point do you think people are going to start to be convinced that they can do it?
A few more weeks yet, I think. And it's interesting because I'm thinking the same thing, that Leicester City had this incredible form where they were beating everybody and climbing all those hurdles. And it didn't stop, and they won the title. This could happen with Arsenal. It would be incredible and stunning, but we've seen it before. So in terms of, you know, it's getting close. We saw them in the flesh on Boxing Day against West Ham United. I thought they were brilliant. Almost an immaculate game. I think there's one mistake. Same thing here. It's a little different when the goals started to come in from Brighton. They made some changes and stuff. But I think if you look at the balance of this team right now, I mean, clearly they're top of the league, so it's an easy thing to say they have the best balanced team. But just in the future, when you kind of think of ways where this could derail, we've had the Jesus thing, and so far, Eddie Nketiah goals, you know, defensively, there's a little bit of cover there. Midfield, there's not a ton of cover, but there is talk about some really interesting players coming in the January window for Arsenal as well, just to give them the boost that they might need. It's an exciting story, and Arsenal fans have every right to be excited about what might happen this season. And they're being led by their captain, Martin Odegaard, a player who, a bit like Kevin De Bruyne, doesn't shout about it, but he could. He's that good. He is that good, Rebecca. We've seen 2 man-of-the-match performances in the 2 games we've seen from him. There's a beautiful ball he plays in for Martinelli for the 4th goal. And there's a maturity about him, and there's a presence about him that I think is infectious, that this group are together. And I said one of the things a few weeks ago about Arsenal is they've not got that sort of archetypal throw-your-fist captain anymore. I think there's a collective captain in that group. I think it's about the team, and it's about them all being together, a young group of players enjoying where they are. I just want to follow on real quick on that. You think about Odegaard when he first started, Rob. He has grown as a player so much. So has Martinelli, and so has Saka. And that's what's exciting to see if you're an Arsenal fan. These young players are improving literally before their very eyes. You both had City to win the league. Have either of you changed your mind yet? Not yet. Give me a month. Give me a month. Come back in a month. I'll ask back in a month. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.